Hi, you guys. We are Corey and Elizabeth Bergeron.
We are executives turned vagabonds. We did the work hard now, enjoy life later approach to life for decades, and later just never came. We found ourselves at a breaking point.
We decided to draw a line and say, you know what? We're going to rewrite the script on how we spend our days. So we started this grand experiment. Could we live on less and experience more?
And in order to do that, we sold 95% of what we had. We quit our executive job and we bought a van and built it out into our home on wheels, our self-built camper van.
This is where we share our adventures. We share our thoughts and our musings and our philosophies, and we share a whole lot of our antics.
So come with us as we head into San Francisco to visit some friends, and then into Yosemite National Park, where we'll show you one of her secrets.
I really looked forward to the idea of our home being something that just kind of went with us wherever we were. And for me, home is really where you are. You know, it's not about the walls and the roof. It never has been. Let's say I go hiking for the day, right? And I'm coming back from my hike and I know that you're going to meet me at the trailhead. As I'm approaching that trailhead, I really feel in like the depth of my soul, I am coming home. I'm meeting my home right there at the trailhead. And it doesn't matter where I go after that.
You're driven outwards. So this mobile home and being able to take your home so that every morning you wake up to something different and beautiful, it really speaks to you.
Yep.
But I'm driven by relationship.
You're a community builder.
Right. Not having that stationary home where community can come. And again, those social things can be built from that place is something that I'm experimenting with. Can I have joy long term, not having that kind of stability? He's loving it. He wakes up and he looks out the window and he's like, what is our view today?
Right. So we left the Redwood Forest this morning. We are driving through Northern California wine country right now. We are beelining it south to my friend Sarah's house. She is going to hang out with us and give us her driveway so that we can plug in and kind of overnight there before we strike east for Yosemite. Out here, you don't worry about your hair.
Why? As long as it's pulled up, you don't worry about it.
I don't worry about my hair at all.
I don't worry about my hair ever.
Are you happy right now? Elizabeth, we're in the middle of San Francisco. Lots of people, lots of culture, lots of society everywhere, and you just ate
Asian salad.
What? That's happening. No driver. So I guess when you're a resident on the crookedest street in America, you have to park like this. What a cool thing. We actually started the engine on our house this morning in San Francisco, and by this afternoon, our house was in Yosemite National Park.
We ran into incredible van life community in Yosemite around El Capitan.
So many. And the reason is because these are people who intentionally have taken on the lifestyle that we have right now. They live full-time out of their vans so that they can spend the majority of their time climbing those huge rock edifices that are all throughout the park. Even at night, you can look up at El Capitan. It's dotted with little lights of people who have their hammocks hung between they got an anchor point pounded into the rock there and an anchor point pounded there, and they're strung between them, and they're going to spend the whole night up there hanging from a rock face so that they can continue climbing, because it takes days to get to the top.
Because it takes days. So in a lot of ways, I'm seeing this duality of our community gets smaller, but only initially, so that it can then become global.
So how's this striking you? We're hiking to the bottom of El Cap right now.
Easier than hiking to the top. That's how it's striking me.
Are we going to hike to the top?
Yeah, sure.
Could happen.
20 miles of what is called a brutal hike. Not difficult, brutal.
If you set out on this hike, be prepared. You could die along the way, just of exhaustion. He's basically screwed. I mean, look at him. He's not only falling through the air, but he's falling into like a bowl that's going to catch him. He totally lost his walking stick. All these rocks are coming down on top of him. Like, that could be neat. We came across something in Yosemite that was going to require us to break the rules a little bit if we wanted to fully experience it.
It started this conversation because we're traveling with another couple, and that couple is more of a rule follower than we are. And it just becomes this conversation as you're trying to move a group that can become kind of
so funny
difficult
is that
to navigate.
Couple is our son and his girlfriend.
And younger than us.
And they're worried about us breaking rules.
They're the rule breakers. Or we're the rule breakers. They're the rule followers. We're all rule breakers, I think. I mean, comment and tell me if you're not, and tell me if I'm wrong. But we're just all kind of deciding what our line is. We don't just decide which rules we're going to break. Sometimes we feel really like justified in breaking a rule. So we're all doing it all the time. And really my heart is to release people of this idea that they should be judging others and how they're doing anything. Just keep in mind, we're all rule breakers, figuring out what rule you should be breaking, shouldn't be breaking, what rule you should be bending, how far you should be bending it, and just give others a break.
So we got this tip from an Instagrammer. This is kind of a secret that most people don't know is even in Yosemite National Park. It's the tunnel within a tunnel.
Coming up on another tunnel. So this one's a little longer.
We're going slow.
There's nobody behind us.
Oh, wait, right here.
Nope.
Right here. Right there. That's it.
Yep.
So here we are, and there's the tunnel. Let's go. And we're going to walk and see if the secret pays off. Hello! Whistle while you work. There are moments when the traffic is just nonstop, and it's really freaky. And then there are other moments where there's no one here.
Sole mio, I'm so happy to see you. God, that's awesome.
Musical interlude.
What? Where'd you go?
Baby, I'm doing it.
Just kidding. They were like that already. Half behind. Oh, what? Oh. We're there. never lost the ability to appreciate beauty, simple beauty, and be fascinated by things. I've been surrounded by people who can sometimes have such serious lives that when you put beauty in front of them, they can't see it. What's really rewarding for me is I look at our son, and he is very much that same way. And I think to myself, man, I hope I never lose that. It is so gratifying for me to go through my day with a sense of wonder of what's around me. And it feeds my soul.
One of the things that was super important to me when we began this whole journey 8 weeks ago was that if we were going to arrive in Yosemite, we would do it before the fall colors were gone. Well, man, we could not have timed it better. And there's different colors for different elevations. So when you're down here in the valley, it's lots of yellows. When you're up on the mountainsides or in the high mountain passes, it's more pinks and reds. It's just stunning here, absolutely gorgeous. So our original plan for today was Tioga Road, which cuts all the way through the park. But it goes up like well over 7,000 feet, and it's not always open because sometimes it gets snowed in. So we're not going to be able to do Tioga Road today. So instead, we've decided to head a little bit into the outback. Elizabeth, what are you doing? Regular pine cone. Yosemite pine cone.
There's the waterfall in the center of the screen. It's probably like, I don't know, 250 feet high. But from here, it looks like a little centimeter thread.
All right, so we located that waterfall down here from Half Dome. It's over here. There's two of them, but it's the lower one. Vernifall, 317 feet. As many of you know, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I've built several companies. I've sold several companies. I've been part of mastermind communities as both a member and a facilitator and executive. I've been surrounded by entrepreneurs for a long time. And there's this term that's thrown around where people call themselves or each other top performers. I was thinking, what would people think of others who were living out of their van? Would people call that a top performer? You know, society wouldn't. Labels are dangerous. Comparisons are dangerous. It is immensely more convenient and easy to live in a house, to have your Netflix, your hot shower, your flushing toilet, and your dishwasher every night. When you are in a van, everything comes with more effort. We met a couple that has been living in a Mercedes military vehicle from Germany. They have been everywhere from the Yukon all the way down to Guatemala. They've been fully on the road for 3 years. We met another guy. He's been living out of his van now for 2 years. He is a rock climbing guide. It normally takes people 5 years to become a guide, but because he has built his resume so fast, he's now a rock climbing guide at only 3 years into the sport. Would you consider him a top performer? Would you consider Max and Marion, who live in their military box truck, top performers? I would. When we compare ourselves to others or compare them to each other, all we're doing is diminishing the truth of what really is and trying to cram it into some small box so that we can feel better about ourselves. If I give you a label, even if it's a positive one, if I call you a top performer, that means I, by extension, have to put other people down in order to lift you up. And who's drawing that line? Who's creating the boundary between someone who's a top performer and someone who isn't? It's all subjective. It's all our own truth. It's all the story we tell ourselves. I'm going to enjoy this hike.
We so hope you guys had fun with us this week. We had so much fun.
Tons.
Next week, we decided we're going to do something that's just a little more like van life typical. And we hope you guys enjoy it and are waiting for it and are excited for it. And we're going to capture our morning routine. We have gotten to where the dance around this van is quite refined. And we're like, it's amazing. Can we capture how amazing this dance has become? So,
And just for you, I'm going to wear underwear to bed.
TMI.